Hey everybody, Qroo here. I'm on my second cup of coffee, and that means it's time to do a lesson. In this lesson, we're going to be exploring more of the verb ir, to go, but this time in the past tense, more specifically in the preterite. I definitely use this verb a lot in the past tense because I'm talking about where I went or asking somebody, did you go to the store? Things like that. So we're going to learn this one, the conjugations for this, and you're going to see how easily it just kind of works together with what we had in the last lesson. So let's go ahead and go through this one. We have fui, fuiste, fue, fuimos, and our next one there is the vosotros form, which is only used in Spain. For folks who are studying European Spanish, you would use this one, fuistes, and then we have fueron. So we always present our conjugations in this order. So if you're studying Latin American Spanish, like I did back in the day, I would just go through this list and I'd be like, fui, fuiste, fue, fuimos, fueron. Fui, fuiste, fue, fuimos, fueron. Until it stuck, all right? Let's take a look at how we're gonna put these in sentences. Did you go to the store? Now, in the last lesson, we talked about, I wanna go to the store, you're going to the store. Now we're gonna ask, did you go to the store? Those are our conjugations. So you think you can do this one? I bet you can. Let's see. Did you go to the store? Fuiste a la tienda? Fuiste a la tienda? Yes, I went to the store. Get a little coffee. Ready? Sí, fui a la tienda. Sí, fui a la tienda. And we have the a in there, right? Because we're going to somewhere. Just like we talked about in the last lesson. But here, the only thing that's changed is our conjugation there, right? We're doing this in the preterite. It's not too tough, right? Go ahead and try this one. Did you go to the pharmacy? And they might be like, oh, do I remember pharmacy? Maybe. Fuiste a la farmacia? No, I didn't go to the pharmacy. No, no fui a la farmacia. We have our double negative there, right? We say no, and then our other no because we're answering the question. No, no fui a la farmacia. Now in the last lesson we talked about going to somewhere, asking somebody, like, ¿a dónde vas? Where are you going? We're going to be using ¿a dónde here. We want to ask, where did you go? Can you do that? Where did you go? ¿A dónde fuiste? ¿A dónde fuiste? And in this we're using the tú form. It's a great way to practice. Spanish is just in yo and tú. Back and forth, a little dialogue with yourself. Now, if you're going to be using the usted form, the formal you, then that would be ¿a dónde fue usted? ¿A dónde fue usted? But for the purposes of this lesson, let's just keep it simple. Yo, tú, right? Let's answer that. I went to the beach. Fui a la playa. Fui a la playa. So is it getting easier with this fui, fuiste, fui, fuiste? And it's just repetition. So as you go through the day, you should be coming up with your own sentences. You can ask yourself and, work in some of your vocabulary. Did you go to the park? Fuiste al parque? No, I didn't go to the park. I went to the beach. No, no fui al parque, fui a la playa. Now you can start to work in your past tense with the present tense, kind of work into a conversation. Let's see how that would work. Do you want to go to the store to buy bread? Translate that. ¿Quieres ir a la tienda a comprar pan? ¿Quieres ir a la tienda a comprar pan? And if you're having trouble with that particular sentence, then you need to go back and repeat the last lesson after this one, just to kind of get that down. All right? Now we want to answer that, right? No, I already went. How are we going to do that? We're going to incorporate a new word here, and it is ya. And when we talk about things in the past tense, ya means already. In the present tense, it could mean now. I'll talk about it more in another lesson. But for now, when we're talking about the preterite, the past, it means already. No, ya fui. No, I already went. We're going to pop it in right before our conjugated verb there. No, ya fui. And if I want to make that an entire sentence, no, ya fui a la tienda. No, I already went to the store. Or no, ya fui a la tienda a comprar pan. No, I already went to the store to buy bread. How about we continue our conversation and the person goes, you already went to the store? How would we do that? You think you can do that one? ¿Ya fuiste a la tienda? ¿Ya fuiste a la tienda? Now, if I just wanted to say, you already went, what would that sound like? ¿Ya fuiste? ¿Ya fuiste? See how this back and forth? It's not getting tougher, is it? It's getting easier. The fui and fuiste, you're not thinking about that as much. When did you go to the store? Got a question word there. ¿Cuándo? ¿Cuándo fuiste a la tienda? ¿Cuándo fuiste a la tienda? When did you go to the store? Now here, we could start to work in things we've already learned, like our days of the week. Remember we talked about those? So if I wanted to say, I went on Monday, how would I do that? Fui el lunes. Remember that we use the definite article with days of the week. In English, we say on Monday, on Tuesday. And in Spanish, they say the Monday, el lunes. The Tuesday, el martes, for on. So, fui el lunes. I went on Monday. Let's go ahead and review our days of the week, because we just said I went on Monday, I went on Tuesday. Fui el martes. I went on Wednesday. Fui el miércoles. I went on Thursday. Fui el jueves. I went on Friday. Fui el viernes. I went on Saturday. Fui el sábado. I went on Sunday. Fui el domingo. Now, a lot of times when you're talking to somebody, especially like that, hey, do you want to go to the store, things like that, and you just went, it wasn't on another day. It was probably earlier that day. So let's play with another time expression here. And you're really going to get into time expressions in a future lesson, but we're kind of sprinkling them in here and there. So here it is, it's hace plus the time expression. And hace comes from the verb hacer, which means to make or do. But in Spanish, we use it for so many more things. And in this case, we're using it for time expressions. So if I said, I went to the store 2 hours ago, I'm going to be using this, okay? Fui a la tienda hace 2 horas. Hace 2 horas. What I'm literally saying is, I went to the store, it makes 2 hours. I went to the store 1 hour ago. What do you got? Fui a la tienda hace 1 hora. Hace 1 hora. Did you get that? So hours are horas, singular is una hora. Days are días, or one day would be un día. Semanas are weeks. Una semana is a week. What else would we need? Oh, años are years. Un año is a year. So, if I wanted to say, I went to the store 2 days ago, how would I do that? Fui a la tienda hace 2 días. Fui a la tienda hace 2 días. What if I want to say, I already went to the store 2 days ago? Ya fui a la tienda hace 2 días. Ya fui a la tienda hace 2 días. Just popping ya in there before the conjugated verb. Translate this one. When did you go to the park? ¿Cuándo fuiste al parque? ¿Cuándo fuiste al parque? And it's al, right? The a and el got together to make al. ¿Cuándo fuiste al parque? 2 hours ago. Hace 2 horas. Hace 2 horas. See, it's like English. I could just take a fragment and just throw that out, right? Hace 2 horas. 2 hours ago. How about this one? I went 2 hours ago. Fui hace 2 horas. Fui hace 2 horas. And if I want to do the whole sentence, I went to the park 2 hours ago, what do I got? Fui al parque hace 2 horas. You getting this? All right, let's do a little bit more, just a little bit. Do you want to go to the beach? ¿Quieres ir a la playa? ¿Quieres ir a la playa? No, I already went. No, ya fui. No, ya fui. When did you go to the beach? ¿Cuándo fuiste a la playa? ¿Cuándo fuiste a la playa? I went 2 days ago. Fui hace 2 días. Fui hace 2 días. And just for fun, let's make a longer sentence there. I went to the beach 2 days ago. Fui a la playa hace 2 días. Fui a la playa hace 2 días. During the day, you should be coming up with your own sentences, because the whole purpose of showing you these patterns is so you can say whatever it is you want to say. In order to do that, you have to practice the patterns. Start playing with that during the day. Narrate your life, you know. Fui al baño. Hace una hora. I went to the bathroom an hour ago. Whatever you want to talk about, just keep practicing. Well, thank you very much for being members of the Qroo Spanish Crew, and until next time, hasta luego.